Holy shit.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
What's up, you guys? Josh here, back at it today with a brand new and special, I guess you could say, product review tour about this, which is Twin Cities Con 2024. Now, Twin Cities Con is their annual convention that they have where a bunch of filmmakers and voice actors actually show up in the Minneapolis Convention Center. It's a really big event and it keeps getting wilder every single year. And this is going to be my overall impressions and first thoughts about attending Twin Cities Con, which it was actually pretty crazy the amount of people that I was actually get to see and get autographs for. Now, as you guys know, I'm a massive fan of Star Wars. I've been a huge fan of Star Wars ever since I was a kid. It's one of those movie franchises that has inspired me as a screenwriter and storyteller. I've actually written some fan screenplays for Star Wars, which is pretty cool. Didn't get to tell Hayden Christensen or Ian McDiarmid that just because of the fact that they pushed the photo ops through pretty quickly. But I think that it was cool to actually get to go to Twin Cities Con this year and experience so much of what I got to see and then some. And the first time that I went in, I think it was about 2022, I got to meet Sean Austin as well as Elijah Wood, which is pretty sweet. There's also Minnesota Con, which I actually got to meet Sean Gunn, which is a little bit more of a casual event. It wasn't as big as Twin Cities Con was. And so I think that if you're going to Twin Cities Con, this is going to be the big event because a lot of people show up in cosplay. It's pretty crazy down Artist Alley. There's a lot of things to see and do. I did get to see Timothy Zahn again from afar, but I didn't actually get to talk to him again like I did the last time I was there. But let's talk about it. So when I got to the convention center, it was really early in the morning. I actually went to Troy Baker's autograph session first just because of the fact that we're going to be doing a photo op with him later. And I was super nervous because Troy Baker's been in things like The Last of Us, Uncharted, as well as things like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Jack Mitchell. He was also Delson Rowe in Infamous, which I actually did a cosplay of on this channel and actually talked about in a video. So if you want to go see that, definitely check that out below. And so I was kind of nervous to meet him because I really wanted him to sign either my copy of Uncharted Legacy of Thieves or The Last of Us. And I had both of them in my bag, so even though I didn't get both signatures, it was pretty cool to actually have one of my games near Joel Miller from The Last of Us. And so I actually got a copy of Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection signed by him, which I'll put up a photo of that in this video. I'll pretty much be mixing video game footage as well as pictures from the con in this video just because of the fact that I'll pop between the two. So let me get the game itself and I'll come back to you. So I actually had this copy of The Last of Us being in my backpack near inches away from Troy Baker. I actually got to converse with him a little bit about Uncharted. It was pretty cool because not only did I have him feet away from me with my copy of The Last of Us, which I got to meet Joel Miller from the game, I actually had Sam Drake, who he plays in Uncharted, sign my copy of Uncharted The Legacy of Thieves collection on PS5. Now I do have the PS4 version. I could pull it out for you guys in this video, but I don't feel like doing that, so there might be an image of it on the screen. It's actually the Steelbook Collector's Edition, which I also think is pretty cool, but I just wanted him to sign this because he's actually in not only Uncharted 4 but also The Lost Legacy, which is included in this disc here. And so I'm gonna put that down, but it was really cool to get to talk to Troy Baker because I've been a huge fan of his work since I think Infamous Second Son was basically the first thing that I played as his characters. It might have been Resistance because he was in Resistance 3 as well, but he's been pretty everything, and it was really cool to tell him that, hey, I'm a huge fan of your work. I platinum trophied Uncharted before the movie actually came out, and his reaction to that was really cool. He kind of just walked back towards the edge of the booth that he was being in, and he was really impressed that I had actually beaten that game. I told him that I beat The Last of Us as well during the whole pandemic because I didn't have anything going on. I couldn't go out or do anything, so I'm like, I just want to play through Uncharted and kind of get that taken care of. And I actually went through the entirety of the game. I beat it on crushing and speed run, and I still have to do it for Legacy of Thieves collection, which maybe I'll do that in the near future. I actually just beat it on crushing difficulty not that long ago, so maybe I'll upload some of that footage to my gaming channel. You guys can check that out. But he was really nice and it was cool to get to meet him. He actually took a selfie with me, so he actually used my cell phone. Him and John DiMaggio did because both of them were doing a mix between autographs and selfies, which is really cool. And so after that, in line, my dad was talking to a couple of different people there, and they both mentioned how they loved my Indiana Jones cosplay, which I kind of went as Indiana Jones and Nathan Drake. I couldn't really decide if I was going to go as either or, so I kind of did a mix between the two, and it was cool because of the fact that every time that I'd walk by somebody, in Artist Alley or even in line, people were mentioning my Indiana Jones gear, which is cool because I've been working on this for like 2 years now, and Indiana Jones is one of those characters that I actually happen to enjoy a lot, and it's really cool to get compliments like that, especially from people where they're like, hey, I really like your cosplay, what kind of gear did you get, where did you get it? And I have all the screen accurate gear from the movies, so to show them that, I have the Wested jackets, I have the fedora from Indiana Jones, and I also have the Alden 405s, which I also took to my brother's wedding recently. And so after that, I left the line, and I think he must have overheard my dad talking about something, because he must have said something like, oh, this isn't really my world, it's basically my son's world because he's into movies and video games, to whoever he was talking to. And Troy Baker turns to him and he's like, oh, it's your world now, which is cool because I didn't think that Troy Baker actually was overhearing our conversations and stuff, but he was really nice. It was really cool to get to meet him, and it made my world that I actually got to meet someone from Uncharted, because I always wanted to meet either Nathan Drake or Sam Drake from the Uncharted franchise, and hopefully I'll get to meet Nolan North in the future. That is yet to be determined. But next was John DiMaggio. Now the photo ops were a little bit interesting because for John DiMaggio, I actually had a little bit of time to talk to him, because he was like, because you have glasses, you need to kind of move your chin down a little bit so that way you can take the photos a little bit easier, which I did. And it was cool to thank him afterwards and be like, hey, I really liked your work in Gears of War, and get to chat up him a little bit. And then we actually went to his autograph signing, which was substantial wait. Both Troy Baker and John DiMaggio, you had to wait at least 30 minutes to get an autograph with both of them. But for me personally, John DiMaggio, who plays Marcus Phoenix as well as Bender in Futurama, and he's also in Kim Possible, and it's really cool to get to talk to him about the games itself and be like, hey, I used to play Gears of War with my brother back in the day. I told him how I almost nearly cried when Maria died in Gears of War 2. I told him I'm a huge fan of his work, and he actually mentioned that he and Carlos Ferro, who plays Dom, are going to be back in Gears of War E-Day, which I'm really looking forward to getting to play in the near future, and that both of them are going to be in it, which blew my mind because I didn't know if both of them were going to be in those games or if they're going to cast newer actors for those roles. But he as well as Carlos Ferro are going to be in it, so that's going to be cool to play. And so I actually got him to sign my copy of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and in this he writes Fight Through the Dawn, which is basically a reference to Gears of War. It was really cool to get to talk to John DiMaggio and hang out with him. What was really even more special is the fact that when we went to the autograph signing, he was like, oh, hey, I recognize you, and it was mostly due to the fact that we got to converse a little bit during the whole photo opportunity session, and that was like right after. So it was cool to have him sign this. It was cool to have him also use my cell phone, so I basically got Marcus Phoenix to take a selfie with me, and that is pretty special nonetheless. So I'm probably going to include not only video of my games, but I'm probably also going to use some of the images that I took on social media for this video, so you guys will definitely get to see a better version of those games right there. But it was really cool to get to experience Twin Cities Con. I also met Hayden Christensen and Ian McDermott. Their lines for signing were incredibly large, especially sitting in the line for John DiMaggio. You could see how incredibly massive the lines were for him, and I did want to get both of their signatures on my copy of the prequel trilogy, but I just couldn't because of the fact that it would have been too much money. I think Hayden's was like $200 and Ian's was like $100. It would have been worth it to have their signatures on my stuff, but I'm just like, for the amount of money that I was already paying for, I think that I got a really solid deal with both Troy Baker and John DiMaggio and got to hang out with them a little bit. So overall, I'm really pleased with the attendance at Twin Cities Con. It was a lot bigger than the last couple of years that I've actually been, so I think that this is getting out to be an event that you need to go to. I'm a fan of movies and video games, and hopefully more celebrities and voice actors and just people in general be there, because this thing is insane. Like, the amount of stuff I was able to do there was crazy. And while I didn't get to go to the Star Wars panels or any of the other panels while I was there, it was nice to get to meet people that I've respected in the industry, such as movies and video games, for a while. And so getting to be even feet from Hayden and Ian as well as John DiMaggio and Troy Baker was pretty awesome and special. And even though they moved me through the photo op with Hayden and Ian, getting to stand there next to these guys, these Star Wars legends, was really cool. And so one of the things I noticed was I was not really as nervous with John DiMaggio as I was with Troy Baker, and I think the reason why I was mostly due to the fact that I respect these guys in the video game industry. They played characters that I've grown up loving since I was a kid, and I didn't want to seem too nervous while I was there, but I did end up getting kind of nervous. I think that for me personally, getting to talk to them about my experiences playing the games, getting to talk to them about my experiences as a filmmaker and screenwriter and storyteller and someone that is inherently into this world is really amazing, and I think that anybody who's a fan of video games and films should definitely go out there and spend the money that they have to go to these events. I also got to talk to the people at Saber Legion. So Saber Legion does this lightsaber fencing style stuff with professional gear and stuff like that, and they're really cool. I also got to talk to this guy who was selling Master Chief Halo helmets as well as other movie and video game replica helmets. I actually got Master Chief, but I don't get the helmet till Christmas because it was part of my Christmas gift, and it was $200. But getting to talk to the guy that actually works the shop there was pretty cool because he knew my relatives' moving company, and they're also featured in the movie Grumpy Old Men, which is pretty cool. I think that overall this year for Twin Cities Con was really special for me and something that I'm going to be remembering the rest of my life. So hopefully I'll get to go next year, and if I go next year, I'll definitely be bringing some more games, some more movies to sign, and possibly hopefully getting more photo opportunities in the not so distant future. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of Twin Cities Con. Did you actually go? Did you not go? Did you go to a different con this year? What was your experiences with your first con? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Run! Get to the other side!